Hello. Thank you so much for telling me, Louise, that my sound is not up because I thought it is. Okay, so in today's class, we will be studying SQL injection, and SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It's mostly referred to SQLi. It's a web application attack. Okay, it's a very impactful attack on a certain website. If the database of the website is compromised, so it can the organization can face so much damage, like the data will be breached. Also, they can face the reputational damages and financial losses if there is some web attack on their website. Guys, Sir is asking, hi guys, how is the new thumbnail? And even I would like to know how did you guys like the new thumbnail that we have made? Okay, we now from now on I'll be making new thumbnails because they might look better. Okay, so it's mostly referred to as SQLi, and it's a web application attack. And when a web application communicates with the data using input from a user that hasn't been properly validated. What does it mean? Means in the URL parameter, I am able to input whatsoever I want. Okay, so like for example, there is a specific database. Let me show it to you. Um, I'm gonna just simply open my database. So there we have got an URL. Okay, so whatsoever we input in that URL parameter, it will be taken, the request from the client will be taken to the server, and server will execute that request without validating it. So the requests that are made by the client will are malicious requests. Okay, and the server do not check it, do not validate it, and just returning the data and returning the whole database even. Okay, so that's the vulnerability that we are studying today. So this is a very old web application vulnerability, and it is also most damaging because, of course, if the data is gone, the attacker is the data is stolen, deleted, and we are able to alter the data, delete the data, steal the data, read the data. So that's a very big problem for the organization. Thank you so much, Louise. In this room, you learn what databases are, what about SQL, about some basic SQL commands, and we will be also performing this thing on the real websites. I'll tell you how you can actually find the SQL vulnerability on real websites. Okay, and how you can exploit that vulnerability as a developer, how you can protect yourself against the SQL injection. That's what we are going to study today. So what does SQL stands for? SQL stands for, what is it? Okay, we have just studied. Also, guys, we will need a very special browser, that is your CyberFox browser. Okay, download the CyberFox browser from the source codes here. Just go to download, then install the browser. And after installing this browser, there is an extension. Okay, that extension is your um, PHP Hitachi Hackbar. Okay, this one, PH Hitachi Hackbar, and the latest version. You have to download this file. Okay, in assets, Hackbar version 2.9 .xpi. Okay, download this. Then open your CyberFox. Okay, this is the hack bar we need to perform SQL injection on real websites to check the vulnerability. Okay, this is how a hack bar will look like. You can see this up here. This is an extension of your CyberFox. Okay, yes, correct, Louise. The full form of SQL is Structured Query Language. Okay, so to get this hack bar, what do you have to do after installing that extension and the CyberFox browser? Go to these three lines over here, then click on add-ons, then in add-ons go to extension, then after that go to this thing, your setting icon, then click on install add-on from a file and select, do not forget to turn off your antivirus because there are some payloads in this hack bar. Just also close your antivirus, then select the file from your here from your downloads, that ph hitachi hack bar file. Okay, hitachi, let me look for it too. uh, Hackbar, maybe it's named Hackbar. Yeah. So this is how it will look like. Hackbar version 2.9.xp. I just click on it, open it, and then it will tell you to restart this and you will get the hackbar. Okay, so you need this hackbar, and we will be, with the help of it, we will be able to find the SQL injection vulnerability on the real websites. Okay, so let's do the theory part before getting started with the practical part. So what does SQL stands for? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Okay. Next, what is a database? And guys, let me tell you one thing. If you enroll in our courses, it will be really very good. It will be very good for improving your skills in the real world. Okay, and it will also help you for with the jobs and everything. And we also provide job assistance. So already the link of enrolling in our courses is given in the description below. Also, you can contact us on the number that is already in the description. Okay, let's continue. So what is a database? A database is a way of electronically storing the collection of data in an organized manner. So all the data that we store is ultimately stored into a database. And if you're not using or working with databases or exploiting them, there are probably some new terminology to get used to. So let's uh, start with some basics on how databases are structured or how they work. So they collect they has got all the data in, and the data in them is stored in an organized manner. A database is controlled by Database Management System, which is an acronym for okay, DBMS is the acronym for Database Management System. DBMS fall into two camps: relational and non-relational databases. The focus of this room will be on the relational databases because this vulnerability is usually found in the relational databases only. So we have got two vulnerabilities. First is your SQL injection, and another is your NoSQL injection. So today we are studying this one, SQL injection. Very good evening, Blue. Good evening, ma'am. Hope you remember me. Yes, I remember you very well. I have been busy at these times recently, but feels good to see you guys actively promoting cyber training. Thank you so much, Blue. And yes, I'm really happy to see you back. I hope you can keep on learning with us. Okay, so why we are studying SQLi? Because it has got relational database management system, and NoSQL has got non-relational database management, RDBMS. Okay, I'm gonna just type it in slow. Relational database management system. What happened? Okay, so what happens in your relational database system? All the data is organized in the form of tables. So tables had got what? It has got rows and columns to store the data. Okay, this is your relation. Also, Like for example, there is one table. Okay, let me make a table. So for example, there is a database. In that database name is, for example, White Fortress. Okay, this is the database name, for example. And it has got three tables. First is the students table. Second is your enrollment or fees. Let's take a fee table. Okay, something like that. Fees, deposit table, something like that. Okay, I'm just taking an example. Very good evening, Pavani. Welcome back to the channel. I'm really happy to see you guys here. And guys, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so like for example, we have got these two tables. Okay, these are tables and the database name is White Fortress, for example, something like that. Okay, so first table looks something like this. It has got some ID, that is your student ID, something like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there are some stuff like that. Then student name and then enrollment date. Okay, stuff like this is over here. And name, let's take Louise. Louis, I think that's the name. And enrollment date, not data. Enrollment date, anything like, just giving an example. Okay, next is Pavani, blue, something like this. And their enrollment dates are over here. Then there is another column of fee, for example, just taking an example. Then here also it has got ID, name, and um, deposited fee, for example, or some stuff. Yes. So what is this? In this table and this table, ID column and name columns are same. Okay, name and ID columns are related to each other. These ID and name columns are related, but other columns might be different. So that's why it is in relational database. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, that's why we call them relational databases. But in NoSQL, what happens? The data is not stored in the tables. Also, the data is like, it's not organized and no, not related either. Okay, there are no tables, no columns, so no related database, right? So what is a database? A database stores all the data. Okay, so this, for example, the White Fortress database had these two tables, student fees deposit tables and stuff like that. And a database is a way of electronically storing collections of data in an organized manner. A database is controlled by DBMS, which is an acronym, okay, for database management system. DBMS fall into two camps. First was relational, next was non-relational. The focus of this room will be on the relational databases. Some common ones you will come across as MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Access, PostgreSQL, and SQLite. Okay, so these all are your relational databases. We'll explain the difference between relational and non-relational databases. I've already explained it to you, so it will be easier for you to understand this furthermore at the end of this task. But first, it's important to learn a few terms. Within database management system, you can have multiple databases. Okay, one more thing, there can be multiple databases in a single database management system. Each contain its own set of related data. Like for example, here you can see in database that is stored in a server, and it has got tables like shop, staff, accounts, and uh, sorry, this is the database server. And in this, there are multiple databases. Shop is a database, staff is a database, accounts is a database, and in here also we have got multiple tables: user, product, order table. And in this, under staff, users, information and audit table. Under accounts, customers, orders and payroll table. So what are these tables? The table is made up of rows and columns. So this ID is a column, username is a column, password is a column, right? And these are your rows. This is your row. Okay, this is first row. One, John, pass, this is written in it. And ID, username, password. Like these are, this is ID column, this is username column, these are columns. Okay, first. So a table is made up of columns and rows. A useful way to imagine a table is like a grid with columns across the top from left to the right, containing the name of the cell, and the rows going from top to bottom, with each one having actual data. Each row will contain the actual data. Okay, so it's just explaining all this. There can be numbers, there can be strings. This is string, like words whatsoever we are typing. Numbers can be there, dates can be there. Uh, the data can be stored like that. Then it's telling about rows. So relational versus non-relational database. A relational database stores the information in tables, just like I told you. And often the tables share information between them. So that's why they are relational. They use columns to specify and define the data being stored, and rows actually to store the data. The tables will often contain a column that has unique ID, primary key. Like here you can see ID and name is like primary key, because it is same in the other tables as well, which will then be used in other tables to for the reference and cause a relationship between the table, hence named relational databases. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. If this is not there, you have got any question, anything, you can let me know. A specific database layout doesn't need to be okay. Non-relational databases sometimes are called NoSQL. On the other hand, are any sort of databases that doesn't use tables, columns or rows to store the data. So as I told you, non-relational databases do not use tables. A specific database layout doesn't need to be constructed, so each row of database can contain different information, giving more flexibility over the relational databases. So these can be called more flexible, but mostly many people use SQL databases to store their data in the table format, because that is easier to manage as well. Some popular databases of this type are MongoDB. These are non-relational databases. MongoDB, Cassandra and Elasticsearch. Now that you have learned what are databases, let's learn how we actually talk using SQL. So what is the acronym for the software that control the databases? This is the first question. And second question is, what is the name of the grid-like structure which holds all the data? So tell me guys, we have just completed this. Pavani, Luisi, Blue. And guys, if you get any questions, any doubts, let me know right away. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Guys, if we talk about web application pen testing, no. So your this thing cannot be overtaken by the AIs as well, because they do need these in cybersecurity field, especially in the pen testing part. We do need our ethical hackers to manually test on the websites. It cannot be done automatically. Okay, so Pavani and Luisi, you both are correct. The first one is DBMS, that is a database management system. And second one is, what is the name of the grid-like structure which holds the data? Is table. Yes, you're correct. Let's move on further. So what is SQL? SQL is your structured query language, is a feature-rich language. Okay, SQL. We are not SQL injection right now. We are talking about. We are talking about SQL language. So it is a feature-rich language used for querying the databases. These SQL queries are better referred to as statements. The simplest of the command which we'll cover in this task is used to retrieve the data, update the data, insert and delete the data. So there are some queries that we have to input to get the data, update the data, insert the data, or delete the data. So let's look into those queries. So first query is your select query. So like I put this thing select, then asterisk. Asterisk is used for all. Okay, select all from users. What is users? Users is a table. Users is the table name. So then you have to put the terminator. Semicolon is your terminator. You have, after each and every query ends, you have to put in terminator to tell that this is it. That's the query. That's what we want. Okay, so then you hit enter. Then you will be able to see the complete table. Okay, this is the complete table. It has got ID, username, password, columns, and some data under them. So this is one of the queries. Select, then all from users, then terminate. Next query is your select. Okay, I just want the column username and password from the users table. So I will use this query, select username comma password from users, or I can just input select username from users. So it will only give me user column. Okay, so here you can see we have got the username and the password column data. Next, select all from users and limit one. Limit one will limit the data to only one row. Okay, it has limited the data to only one row. If I would have put it two, it would have showed me two rows. If I would have put it three over here, then it will show me three rows. Next, select all from users where username equal to admin. Okay, so this is another query. Select all asterisks from users where username equal to admin. So here you can see username is admin on the second in the second row. So it is showing us that row only. Next, select all from users where username is not admin. Okay, for not, okay, for equal to admin will give us admin row only. And if I put not, for not, this is used. Okay, if someone has done the C language or any other language, you might have known about all these operators. Okay, this is a not operator. Not equal to, exclamation is used for not. Okay, so it has given us the rows that do not have the admin as username. Okay, username not equal to admin. And then again, do not forget the terminator. Okay, when we are accessing the database, we are working with when we are working with a database, we need to put this terminator after the query is completed. Next, select all from users where username equal to admin or username equal to John. So either we wanted username equal to admin or username equal to John. So it would give us the output like this, John and admin. Next, select all from the users where username equal to admin and password is equal to P4 SSWORD, right? So it has given us that. If I would have inputted something else, there would be nothing or some other row over there. Okay, next, select all from users where username looks something like this. Okay, what does this means? Select from user table where username like a percent. Percent means it starts with A. Okay, the first letter is A and rest of the letters, the number of letters or whatsoever letters are unknown. Okay, so it will list all the username that start with A percent. That's what you'll use for it. Next, select from users where username looks something like percent %n. Okay, so all the usernames you can see end with N. So it means the last letter should be N and the previous letters can vary time to time. Okay, it depends. So it will just give us N at the end of the username. Guys, if you got any questions, any doubts, let me know. And do not forget to like the video. Okay, next is select all from users where username looks something like this. Okay, there is MI in the between, and there are some letters on the left, there are some letters on the right. So for that, this can be used. Select all from users where usernames look something like this. Now next, this one is very important. Okay, next one is your union statement. The union statement combines the result of two or more selected statements to retrieve the data from single or multiple tables. So with the help of union, we can get the data from single or multiple tables. The rules to this query are that the union statement must retrieve the same number of columns in each select statement. So first of all, let me tell you, this select statement, union statement is all that we will be using while retrieving the data from the real websites. So make sure that you are like very attentive in this one, because if you don't know how these things are working, it might be difficult for you to understand what's actually going on when we do the practical part. Okay, so union statement combines the result of two or more select statements to retrieve the data from either single or multiple tables. The rules to this query are: the union statement must retrieve the same number of columns in each select statement. The column must have to be a similar type of data type, and column order has to be the same. uh, okay, let's look down there to understand it better. This is one table. Okay, and this is another table. This has got ID 1, 2, 3, a name, address, city, postcode, and another called suppliers with the following. There is one table. We have got one table called customer table. Okay, this is customer table. This is supplier table. Select the following sequence statement. We can gather the results from two tables and put them into one result of set. So here we need to get the data from these two tables. So here you can see the query says select name, address, city, postcode from customers. Okay, select this from the customer table and union select company address, city, postcode from the suppliers as well. So it is helping. Union means it is combining these two statements. Select name, address from the customers, and select company address, postcode from the supplier table. So here we got all the data. Okay, we got all the rows and columns from the previous both tables, because we have written over here that we want all the column names, all the column data from all the tables. Next is your insert. Insert, till now we just learned how we can get the data, how we can select the data. Now how we can update the data or insert the data into a table. So for that, we can use the command insert into users. Okay, in the users table we want to insert something like username, password, and some values like Bob, password 123. Okay, so these are the column, and the value of this column is username has got Bob and password has got password 123 column. So here you can see the result. This is a new column that has been added over here. Bob, password 123. Second is your update, that for example, update user set username root. Okay, uh, pass 123 where username equal to admin, where username is admin, just change it to root. Username should be changed to root there, and password should be changed to password 123. Okay, insert means we have inserted a new row, and in update we can change the data. Here it looks something like this. In the previous table, admin, password, and it has been changed or updated to root, pass 123. Next is a delete. So if we want to delete, we can simply type the delete query from users. We want to delete something from the users where username equal to Martin. Guys, if you have any question, any doubt, let me know. Okay. Nick Shell, Amsel, what's okay? Your name. Is this an actual class or an rerun? It's not a rerun, it's an actual class. We are on the 31st lecture, and we comes live from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday to Friday. Okay, so let's continue. And guys, if I do not look at your doubts or your questions, I am just reading, that's why. But I will make sure to reply to each and every question, each and every doubt. So do not worry about that. Do ask about your doubts in the real time. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and keep learning with White Fortress Cybersecurity. So now, if I want to delete from users where username equal to Martin, okay, so here you can see that from here, this Martin is deleted. Martin row has been deleted. Next, delete from users. Okay, nothing is specified that from which column it should be deleted. So all the data from the users table has been deleted over here. Okay, now here are some questions for you guys. What SQL statements is used to retrieve the data? Okay, we have already completed all this. And if you have any doubts, any question in any of the SQL query, let me know right now. Okay, we studied select query that is used for retrieving the data, right? And we can also retrieve the data according to our needs, like we can put something like this username equal to admin, or not equal to admin, or it should start with a, it should end with n, it should have mi in between. And how we can get the data from two tables, we can use union statement for that. Then we talked about insert for inserting a specific row into the in here. Then updating for updating, or for like changing admin to root or something like that, we can use the update. And for deleting, we can use the delete query. Okay, so we have got some answers over here. Select, yes, Luigi and Pavani, you both are correct. Select statement is actually used for retrieving the data. Second, what SQL clause can be used to retrieve data from multiple tables? Join. I think, Pavani, there is like you have completed the sequel in your college, I guess. Because yes, join is also one of the query in your what do we call it? Your SQL injection. But we are not using the join query. It is for joining the two tables, as much as I remember. Okay, and we are not joining, we are retrieving the data from two tables. So for that, we will use union. So what SQL statement is used to add the data? Yes, insert. You're correct, Louise. Okay, I'm gonna just call you Louise for now. Insert. Okay, so that's it, guys, for this one. Now let's come to the part, what is SQL injection? Okay, let me tell you, we are not going to do all of it. Okay, we are going to practice on the real site after this. Okay, so I cannot just explain. I will tell you how you can find the SQL injection on the real website. So let's start with, first of all, what is SQL injection? So SQL, or maybe let's just start doing it. Okay, already. So first of all, to find the SQL injection on the real website, let's use this one. Okay, I've already told you how you can install this hack bar. So we are going to use some Google Doc methods. Okay, and before that, let me tell you on what parameters we can find your SQL injection. So for that, what do we call it? Parameters. SQL injection parameters. Top 25 GitHub. Okay, let me show it to you. XSS parameters, SSRF parameters, LFI parameters. Here are the SQL injection parameters. Okay, so here you can see equal to I. question mark id equal to question mark page equal to directory equal to search equal to, these are the parameters in the url that you where you can find the sql injection. Okay, this is the first thing that you need to know. There should be these certain parameters, then only there is certainty of finding your sql injection vulnerability. Okay, so next, for example, here I'm gonna just simply type in url question php question mark id equal to, okay, this is the google doc that I usually use, in url php question mark id equal to, and you can also take some specific site like nepali site I'm taking. Okay, just for an example, nothing else. Okay, so this is how I have taken in url php question mark id equal to, okay, I have taken question mark id equal to. So let's look for question id equal to something in nepal. Okay, I found one. Just giving an example. Just giving an example. No, I won't. Just error based, not the complete thing. Okay, fine. uh okay, so we are looking for something like this, id equal to uh id equal to something like this. Okay, that's what we are looking for. Okay, here we found one, for example. Here you can see the URL over here, id question mark id equal to 7. Okay, so I'm gonna just copy this and take this to the hack bar. Okay, and then next step, I'm just giving an example. Okay, Sir is telling me to use labs because we might get strike on our YouTube channel. Not might, we will. We will get the strike on our YouTube channel. Okay, let's do this only then. Um, but let's just take an example. Just give me a minute. I'm just taking the error base for the error base. No. Okay, fine. Fine. So, okay. For example, there is one site. I'm just taking an example. The URLs look something like this. Okay, www dot, I'm just taking my site, whitefortress dot in question mark id equal to 40. Okay, so this is how your site, this is how your URL looks like. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll just have to change the I'll just first of all have to generate the error. First step is generating error. Second step is finding number of columns in the database. And third is finding vulnerable columns. Fourth is finding database. Then fifth, table names in that database. Then columns in the table. 6, 7. Then after column, data in the columns. Okay, so these are the steps that you have to do. So first step is your generating the error. Okay, and also let me tell you, there are SQL injection types. First is your error based. Second, error based, union based. And guys, in our courses, we do teach how to find out the SQL injection on the real websites, XSS, and other web application vulnerabilities on the website. Okay, then union based, and third is your time based, and fourth is your Boolean based. So in error based, what happens after generating an error, like for example, this is the website, okay, https www.whitefortress.in question mark I, or let's take a page slash index dot php. Okay, I'm just giving an example. This is the main thing that should be there. Question mark id equal to, there can be some string, some words, or there can be just this number over here. Okay, these parameters are on main website, but the sub URLs, yes, these are, you can say sub directory. Okay, in the sub directory of the main site, there can be some, like for example, index.php or page.php. It can be something like that. Okay, and also make sure, why I've used PHP, because where PHP is being used, in the backend, your database is running. Okay, how do I know? Let me show it to you. Here I'm going to go to the Papalizer to check the technologies that are being used in the background. Okay, here also you can see PHP should be there. Where is it? Index.php. Why is it not showing? PWAP. Okay, I think this PWA is something related to dot PHP is here, no? So PHP is working. Okay, and if I open some other site also, like this one, okay, it has also got the URL like this, ID equal to 32, and let's check also dot PHP question mark ID equal to. So if we open the Vaporizer, PHP programming languages, PHP is being used over here. Okay, so these sites are usually vulnerable to the attack. So what I will do next, so for example, this is the website. I'm gonna generate an error. How do I generate an error? By using apostrophe. So how do I know if the error is generated or not? There can be certain conditions for that. First condition is the data of website might get changed. Second, you might, no, I'm not doing it on real website anymore. You might uh, get an pop-up error, or some error looking like SQL syntax error. Okay, these are the things. Syntax error. So if you see any of these, that means, or the website might change means the data of the website might get changed, or the data of the website might get deleted or something like that. Okay, so these are the conditions in which you know that the error is generated. There is an error. Next, you'll have to balance the equation. Okay, here I've missed one of the point. After generating an error, balance the equation. What does balancing the equation I mean? Means you will have to like keep on balancing. Like you'll put some symbols like minus minus for commenting the furthermore query. After this, okay, this, or minus minus plus. Plus is for space. Okay, something like this. So you will put stuff like this, or minus over here, till when you'll have to balance this equation, till you get the original website back. Okay, like it has got some, it will start, you will see this thing, data of the website might be changed, or you are seeing an error, or you are seeing some SQL syntax error. So you will have to just balance the equation till you get the website looking in its original form like before. Okay, so that's how you know that that specific website is your balanced. Okay, next, you'll have to find the number of vulnerable columns. So for that, after in this URL, what you will do, you will put this statement or by order by, and then you put one. So after one, one means you have one number of columns. Of course, there will be one number of columns, and no changes will be there. Then you try 100, okay, and you keep on trying the number of columns that are there until you keep on you'll have to like go to 10, 20. Let me show it for you in the lab, okay. It I will not be able to explain it better without it. So let's see it in the lab if there is in the lab. Yeah, here it is. Okay, here let's start the machine. Okay, I'll show you the practical tomorrow. Most in the lab or only I'll find a good lab for you guys so that I can show how it actually is done on the real websites as well. Okay, so first of here also it says you either have to put this apostrophe or the quotation, double inverted comma or whatsoever you call it, quotation mark, to generate the error. Okay, in the machine it will take some time. Let's do the practical tomorrow because we do not have enough time left for that. But let me explain it to you till then. So you'll have to balance the equation, then finding the number of columns in the database. Okay, so how many columns are there? You'll have to ask it. Okay, for that you will be using union select. Okay, first you will be using order by, finding number of columns using order by, then finding the vulnerable columns using union select statement, then finding the database using other statement that we will study tomorrow. And here also your hack bar has got all the statements. Okay, for the database it has got statement for finding the database. For table name, for finding the table name, it has got the statement. You just have to input the database name and it will generate a statement like this for you. Okay, here you can see select group concat from information schema. So we will see all that tomorrow. Okay, mostly I use Hackbar because the URLs get encoded, URL encoded or something like that. So because of that, it's better to use the Hackbar and then you click on execute to execute that specific URL. And that's it for today. Okay, I don't want you to confuse you guys. Without the practical, you might get confused. So let's continue this tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow on the same time, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And if you guys are interested in learning to do all that stuff in real on real websites, you can definitely enroll in a web application hacking course. Bye guys. See you tomorrow.